plaintiff, Tina Scott, says the defendant is her cousin, and they were extremely close until the defendant wrote a book about her life and defamed Tina in the book. Tina says the defendant falsely accused Tina of blowing up her mother's car, so she's suing. Defendant Daphne Turner insists nothing in her book was defamatory because everything she wrote was the truth. Daphne insists Tina was responsible for her mother's car being blown up, and she's countersuing for slander and lost wages.
Start with you.
Daphne is my cousin, my best friend, my little sister, also like a daughter to me. We got along pretty good all our lives. A lot of our cousins was a little jealous of our relationship. Never had too much trouble until Daphne wrote this book that came out the beginning of this year. It's supposed to be about her life, but
she shouldn't have said anything about her best friend, her sister, the one she spent so many years with. She should block all that out of her life.
Well, I didn't say that she shouldn't, it's how she did it.
There you go. Go ahead.
I know I'm a very important part of her life, and I will be in the book.
But it's the way she characterized you.
Exactly.
All right, that hurts your reputation?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and tell me.
Well, it's like 4 things in the book that really bothered me the most. Starting off, she accused me of blowing up a car 20 years ago.
Blowing up her car?
Her mother's car. I didn't do it, and I wouldn't do anything of that sort.
Did she say why you did it, or give me the circumstances under which she alleged that?
The circumstances started over, let me go back. Me and Daphne is really close, so her mom was kind of jealous of our relationship. Me and her mother had gotten into an altercation about 2 weeks prior to that. And a couple of weeks later afterwards, something did happen to her car, but I had no clue of what went on. Or
okay, what did happen? You don't know how or
Not
what
at all.
happened?
Not at all.
Okay, so she alleged that you blew her mother's car up.
Yes.
And she stated it as a fact in the book?
Yes, she did.
Like she was revealing a fact?
Yes.
Not an opinion?
No, she said I did it.
Okay, what else?
She also said after that, her sister and her mother sent her sister after me. She attacked me. It was just an altercation. It was over with, you know, a couple of plants here or there, whatever, hair pulling, but it was over with. But in Daphne's book, she said how I was beat down and her sister beat me up, and I would never let that happen.
Okay. So your reputation was ruined because she said you lost the fight.
Right.
So that hurt your reputation.
That's getting there.
Everybody thought you were tough and could fight.
Exactly.
And not to mess with you. Now she done told everybody you can't fight and they can just have their way with you.
Pretty much.
All right, so alleged somebody beat you up. What else do you want to sue her for slander or defamation?
All right, the next part is she also put in there that my brothers were gay.
Okay.
All that. I mean, it was her story to tell. Why does she have to tell my family history?
Because that's part of her story. Let me hear from you.
Yes, Your Honor. She is correct. Tina and I are like sister cousins. I ran away to her home when I was like 10 years old. My mother and I had got into an argument and Tina took my side. So my mother did punch Tina in the mouth, but I felt sorry for my cousin, so she ran out and I followed her. When I went to her home with her, she started asking me questions about my mother's car, like was it insured?
That's not true.
Was it paid off and everything like that?
That's not true. That's not true.
Her boyfriend was there, Your Honor, and he was like in and out of the house whispering with her. They're going back and forth. So I felt uncomfortable and I left and I went back home. When I went back home, my mother was distraught, crying. Her car was blown up in front of her door. I immediately told her, I just left Tia's house. She asked me questions about your car. She did it or her boyfriend did it.
And you never asked one thing about her car of anyone?
Not at all. She's making that totally
good enough. Go ahead.
So, as far as...
So you believe that
absolutely.
because you've had a conversation with her regarding the car, and shortly thereafter, the car was blown up.
Yes, and she just was in an altercation. My mother just punched her in the mouth.
What you must prove is that she intentionally told a lie to someone to try and hurt your reputation, and that it did hurt your reputation. And then what about you told that someone beat her up?
Yes, Your Honor.
That doesn't sound like a claim to me, but go ahead.
Well, actually, my mother did sick my younger sister on her. I was away. And my sister and her did get into an altercation. My sister was a minor. My mother pressed charges. And here's the police report. She was arrested for simple assault and domestic violence fine for fighting my sister.
Regarding this fight?
Yeah.
Why were you arrested?
Because she was a minor. And you see that they sicked her on me.
So the gay brothers, I mean, is it the truth?
It is true, Your Honor. Two of her brothers are deceased. They never hid their sexuality. The one that's living never hid his sexuality. As a matter of fact, he's in 2 articles from 2015 acknowledging him as a transgender woman. And my book didn't come out. I didn't publish my book until 2017 of December. And here's
And has he threatened to sue or wanted to sue?
I have power of attorney over him. He's in a nursing home.
Ever since the book? He's been there?
Yes, before the book.
Okay, before the book, he was in a nursing home?
Since that article, yeah.
And did people know he was transgender before she wrote it in her book?
Yes.
Okay, so how did she tell something no one knew?
Well, what I was saying is we all moved from our old neighborhood into a new neighborhood 20 years later. That happened to nobody even know I had siblings.
Number one defense is truth. All right, so she's established that it was true. So she didn't say anything slanderous. And secondly, it wasn't towards you anyway. It was toward them. She didn't say anything about you. She said they were gay. How does that harm you? How does that harm you?
Because after I went back to
where?
I mean, to with my workplace and everything, people was reading the book and stuff, and now they know that my brothers is gay.
What was wrong with that?
They didn't even know I had siblings.
What's wrong with them knowing that your brothers were gay?
That was my truth to tell. That was my story to tell. They didn't even know I had brothers.
Ma'am, first of all, you presume that when people find out that others are gay, somehow it causes a negative impression. In other words, when people found out that your brothers were gay at your office, somehow that hurt their reputation. Well, I got news for you. You're wrong. You're in the minority. Most people don't think like you at all. And your thoughts are homophobic.
That's not true.
Don't come in here with that mess.
I just thought it was their business.
Be quiet, ma'am. I could say something. Anybody could say something about you as well. All right, your counterclaim for defamation and lost wages is for what?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm actually counterclaiming for slander because obviously with her even coming here saying that my book, I'm lying in my book, and I just had to prove that I'm not lying, that it's truthful. And she's slandering my character as far as her friends and everybody that wants to purchase the book. She's been giving away my book to her friends for free. And I have...
How did she get it?
She bought a copy.
Okay, it was hers at that point.
But she said she was...
She can do what she want with the book
right, Your Honor.
with her property,
You're right.
ma'am. You all go home and try to resume your tight and close relationship. She has done nothing intentionally to harm your reputation. Have a good day. Both your claims are dismissed.
Thank you, Your Honor. You happy now?
It ain't make a difference to me, but like I said, it was your story. Tell your story and leave my story out of it. You ain't
in my
do
life.
nothing wrong.
You're in my life, and I told the truth.
Well,
so
you want to write
make a
another
difference.
book?
If I want to.
Well, let me watch what I do around you.
Absolutely. Do it.